to make a longer story shorter, I go up in the offices near Columbus Circle. I get off dressed in my suit and bow tie, no derby, and I'm waiting, sitting down at a coffee table, Downbeat magazine with Wynton Marsalis on the cover, and he walks into the office. And you've seen those scenes in movies where the actors do a double take. And I'm looking at Downbeat, and there's Wynton Marsalis. And I'm looking at Downbeat, and there's Wynton Marsalis. And my heart is going boom, 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 boom. I'm a jazz studies major, and it's the summer in between my junior and senior years. I said, CJ, you gotta say something. And I had just listened to The Magic Hour to be prepared for a moment such as this. And I walk over to Wynton Marsalis, who is wearing a blue, like a navy blue button-down shirt and jeans, and his leather trumpet bag is slung over his shoulder. And I said, Mr. Marsalis, I like your recent release. And he says to me like this, I kid you not, I like your bow tie. And I was complimented and scared witless at the same time. And then I thought, well, I better say something else, and I don't know what to say. And he's looking at me, and he realizes this. And he says to me, you're a musician, aren't you? And I said, yes, actually. I'm at Ithaca College as a jazz studies major, and you're taking Walter White from us. Now, before you get into Breaking Bad, this is not Breaking Bad. Walter White, the original Walter White, is one of the best lead trumpet players in the world, okay? And he was teaching at Ithaca College while I was there, and he was going to join the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra. And Wynton Marsalis looks at me and he goes, how is Walter? And I think he means, how is Walter as a musician? So I said, oh, he plays such a beautiful solo, and as he plays, the notes get higher and higher, and you think he can't possibly get any higher than that, and then he does. And he keeps doing that until the end of the concert. And Wynton Marsalis shakes my hand and he goes, what's your name? I said, CJ Glass. And this part of the story is true. Actually, the whole part of the story is true, but this part especially. He says, damn, CJ Glass. CJ Glass. And he goes over to the secretary in the corner, says something to her. It wasn't until later, I don't remember how much later, possibly years, where I found out he said, that kid's wearing a bow tie, that means he's serious. And he goes up the stairs with two female co-workers, and the whole time he goes up the stairs to the next floor to the offices of Wynton Marsalis Enterprises, he says, damn, CJ Glass, damn, CJ Glass. And I almost collapse back on the coffee table with a copy of Downbeat magazine before I continue the interviews. I'm going to stop telling stories or we'll be here all night.